Race your day. Race your daydreams. Where the beat at your feet starts your pulse racing. Where your split-second gear changes create a slowing of time. The all-new rally-bred GR Yaris. Race your heartbeat.
Hello everyone, the wait is finally over. Welcome to Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup Singapore 2021 final, brought to you by Toyota Singapore. I'm Claire Jedrick, your host for this event, but let me introduce to you first our commentators, Ringo and Hong.
Hello, I'm Ringo. I cannot wait for the exciting races.
Hello everyone, I'm Hong, and yes, we've arrived at the final stage of the competition. We'll also be going to see who the three representatives are from Singapore to proceed on to the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup Asia 2021.
But first, to officiate the final today, let's invite our special guest, Mr. Samuel Yong. He is the Director of Strategic Marketing and Business Strategy from Borneo Motors Singapore. Samuel, it is great to have you here. It's an honor.
Thank you, Claire. Hi, Ringo. Hi, Hong. Hi, everyone. Good evening, and it's great to have you here with us. First of all, congratulations to all the racers participating in today's Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup Singapore 2021. You have made it this far, and all 12 of you are officially Singapore's finest sim racers. Toyota Gazoo Racing is part of Toyota's commitment to make ever better cars. Embodying this spirit, we push ourselves to overcome every limit and never stop innovating, even under the extreme conditions of motorsports. Each GR model is a testament to Toyota's superior engineering and pure performance. Through the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup, we hope to bring the same joy and excitement of motorsport races to motorsports fans virtually. They get to race on iconic tracks with the GR models that feel and perform exactly like the actual physical cars. And this is what many GR motorsports racers do before their actual races. During breaks, you can find them practicing on Gran Turismo Sport and competing with each other on the simulators. That said, I can't wait to find out who will represent Singapore in Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup Asia 2021. To all the racers, good luck. Let the races begin.
Well, before we begin, let me tell you a little bit about Toyota Gazoo Racing, as well as the Gran Turismo Sport. Now, part of the Toyota brand, Toyota Gazoo Racing TGR drives Toyota's mission in creating ever better cars by applying the techniques and experiences gained through the harsh environment of motorsport and rallying our automobile fans. Gran Turismo Sport for PlayStation 4 focuses on competitive online racing, and players compete day and night while enjoying the real-world movements of cars and excitement of motorsports.
All right, so before we proceed to the final races, let's take a look at the highlights from yesterday's semifinals. For the 2021 Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup Singapore. And we're now on board with Rasa, who's coming very close to Alif as they negotiate the Niki Lauda curve, going onto this uphill. Alif able to pull away just that little bit with 0.6 of a second gap between the two drivers.
You can see it's getting really dark, and then the drivers are pushing very hard. You know, with the rear-wheel drive car, it's lovely when you see the car backing off. You see flame coming off from the exhaust. It's exactly like the real cars, and you know, I see all this driver driving. They're pushing, and a lot of them, when they are coming off the corner, they are exiting it with a mild little bit of oversteer, counter steering, and you know, putting the power just right. Amazing, amazing, brave. That's it. Now you can see Anonymous is on the outside, but the next corner is the left-hander.
Right, so
it's going to be very tight.
They do go side by side. And Anonymous takes the lead away from Alif right early into this lap 1 of the 5-lap race.
Good start, good start.
Brilliant move from Anonymous, leaving a lot for Alif to think about. Right as they come into the hairpin, Maselton has nowhere to go. It's blocked by the wheel in front. Rasa on the right side, on the outside of this hairpin, and now in 4th position, squeezing out Maselton. Maselton jumping to 5th. Wow, brilliant
Brilliant
racing.
overtaking, yeah.
Wow, such excitement here. Maximum agility, which is useful for these guys. But let's jump on board now to Ezra. The back view, you can see Thasby hunting left, hunting right, looking for the right lines as they dive into turn 1. Bumper to bumper, Thasby
Yes,
taking
you
the
got
inside
it.
line and overtaking Ezra. That is right. Thasby is now in the lead. Ezra is second. Ethan in third. Very close behind. This battle's heating up, Ringo.
Yes.
Those were really fantastic races, weren't they? Well, today is the final. 12 winning racers from semi-finals are now here to race to the top 3 positions to proceed to TGR GT Cup Asia 2021.
Oh, that's exciting. Who are the 12 racers we have today?
The top 12 racers who successfully won yesterday's semi-finals are, and in no particular order, Muhammad Thasby, Ethan Yeo, Muhammad Alif, Zayem Rasyad, Muhammad Jamavzi, Nur Shalizan, Fadris Issa, William Yong, Izwan Hisham, Datu Yoga Brata, Christopher Lee Yong Ming, Asafi Asadi.
Well, congratulations to all. Okay, Hong, could you tell me about the mechanics of the final?
My pleasure, Claire. So for the finals, the 12 racers will be doing battle in 3 races. The first race is set for the 2.35 kilometer infield A track at Blue Moon Bay Speedway. This 8-lap race will see the racers challenge one another in the GR86 race car. By now, the competitors all know that the final results are based on their total score from all races. And considering how all races are sprint races, there will be literally 0 room for errors. Immediately after race 1, the participants will switch over to the 3rd and final car for this entire series, the brand new GR Yaris, which is, in my personal opinion, the truest definition of a pocket rocket, as this super lightweight hatchback is equipped with a 4-wheel drive system, made it to an impressive and potent 1.6-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder engine, delivering some 268 horsepower with 370 Newton meters of torque. And the circuit they will be competing at will be the 16-corner, 4.57 kilometer Fuji Speedway for a total of 7 laps. For the final race, and the last chance for the racers to chalk up their points, they will take the GR Yaris to the fictional 6.56 kilometer long Tokyo Expressway South inner loop for a total of 7 laps. Now, aside from filling the top 3 podium spots at the end of this ultimate 3-race battle for supremacy, the top 3 competitors will also be representing Singapore in the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup Asia 2021.
Okay, now let me introduce the point system for the race. The final classification of each race will be according to the racer's final position in the race, subject of course to any penalties. Now, the points will be awarded to the racers according to the position for each race. For final race 1 and race 2, first 20 points, second 15 points, third 12 points, fourth 10 points, fifth 9 points, sixth 8 points, 7th 6 points, 8th 5 points, 9th 4 points, 10th 3 points, 11th 2 points, and 12th 1 point. Now for the final race 3, first 25 points, second 18 points, third 15 points, fourth 12 points, fifth 10 points, sixth 8 points, 7th 6 points, 8th 5 points, 9th 4 points, 10th 3 points, 11th 2 points, and 12th 1 point. Now the highest point scorer from all races will be crowned champion of the tournament. With regards to game settings and rules, Hong, would you please?
My pleasure, Claire. Now, to ensure a fair and competitive environment, the race organizers have mandated several settings. Counter steering assist and active stability management are prohibited in the race. No limits on traction control, driving line assist, and ABS. Penalties for taking shortcuts and wall collisions are set to mild to prevent drivers from exceeding the limits. Ghosting is turned off to allow for realistic overtaking. Any penalties or protests will be observed and evaluated by the stewards. And for today's stewards, Mr. Ringo Chong, Singapore's top racing driver, and Mr. Eric Ho, a committee member of Motorsports Singapore.
Well noted. Now let the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup Singapore 2021 final begin.
All right, let's settle in for the first of today's 3-race competition. The track we're looking at will be the Blue Moon Bay Speedway Infield A. With a total of 10 corners and a relatively short lap distance of 3.35 kilometers, what are your thoughts on the circuit, Ringo?
Well, Hong, this circuit is split into 3 sectors. For sector 1, the trickiest bit would be turn 1, which is a long curving bend towards the end of the front straight. This is dedicated turn as the racers will need to aim for a late apex, managing their brakes and rotation. For sector 2, there are 2 corners which are more challenging in nature. Turn 4, which is deceptively much tighter than it may appear. Drivers need to brake early as well as turn 6. This is a sharp hairpin which has a very deep apex. Finally, for sector 3, the last turn connects onto the front straight, which means it will be absolutely crucial to carry as much speed as possible in and out of the corner.
And what about the GR86 that the competitors will be competing in?
I think it's a very good option for the circuit, as the circuit is technically demanding and will require drivers to really deliver, especially in the final sector, because they will need to bring as much speed as they can into the long front straight.
Right guys, let's just jump straight right into the race.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the start. This is where magic happens, and this is what all the drivers have been training all year for. This is your starting grid for the finals, race 1. And alongside with me is Ringo, and we are now at the starting grid, waiting for the lights to go green.
All excited, getting ready. You can see all the competitors are ready. All of them are waiting for the green light to shoot off.
Exactly, and I think we're just moments away. Oh, and away we go. Not a very good start for Ethan. Seems to be slowing down at the start. Did not have a good start. And here we are, Elon Musk leading the pack, ahead with Alif in second position, Thasby in third. Ethan, bad start, but able to maintain that fourth position start, with Rasyat in fifth position here as they enter into turn 2.
It's amazing to see how the car hit the banking and then the car actually moved upwards, then down into this very tight corner, into a sharp left-hander. Now you can see Alif catching up on car number 1.
Yes. And it seems like they're all really
the limit,
pushing it to the limit, full width of the track, full width of the circuit.
Yes, he's pulling out. Now he's on the right side. Let's see if he make it through the first corner.
I think he did. Alif has overtaken Elon Musk to take first position. But look at Elon Musk, they are still bumper to bumper.
He has one oversteer mistake into the grass, and then the second car is in number 1.
Right, ready to pounce and ready to take advantage of that situation. So right now we are on board with Alif. Second car is Anonymous, third is Thasby, fourth is still Ethan, fifth is still Rasyat.
This is the corner that's so important on the exit of the last corner, because this long straight is so vital. If you have a good exit, you're going to get a much better top speed. And here again you can see the car number 2 is drafting, trying to catch the draft and get the better top speed. You can see it inching up slowly. Now is a decision whether to go left or right.
And I think he made the decision. He has cut to the left. They're almost side by side as they enter turn 1. And I think he took it. I think Anonymous took it. He has overtaken Alif and got first place.
A good passing, and now Alif is back on the left side, and let's see if Alif get back the position.
Right, it is a left turn, so Alif is on the inside line. Advantage right there to Alif. This is coming to be a very exciting race. These two drivers especially really not letting go of each other. And I think I saw some action there between Thasby and Ethan here battling for third position. I think that's something we might want to look out for in a little bit. But here we have, once again, Anonymous on the inside line. Is he able to squeeze past and get first position at this point?
I don't think so, because the next corner Alif gave way, but then Alif has the start for the left corner.
Right, and here we are. They are on to the second last corner, which is a hard left before they move into that banking, which you were just talking about, Ringo, is so important because they need to have as much exit speed as possible so that they have a good run on the long straight.
It's getting really close, and you can see the drafting effect coming. And now, again, Anonymous is going to pull to the left.
It's
Oh,
indeed
is he going to
close.
stay
I
on the
think
right? It's going to be
half a
close. He's
car
going to
length.
go on the left.
On the
Yes.
inside. There we go. On the inside, Alif blocking. Anonymous switches over to the right, onto the outside as they come into turn 1. Still maintaining a very close gap between the two top drivers here at Blue Moon Bay Speedway.
Good drive by Alif. Yeah, very good. Very good defend line, making his car really wide so that car 2 cannot pass him.
Right, really protecting that hard-earned first position. But guys, we are only at lap 3. This is an 8-lap sprint race. It ain't over till it's over. And here we are, we can see Ethan and Tharsby. Tharsby in 4th, Ethan in 3rd. A lot of pressure coming from Tharsby on the butt of Ethan as they negotiate these last few corners to the lap 3.
Yes, and the 3rd car and the 4th cars, they are also fighting close to each other. Yeah.
I think having Ethan in 3rd position, blocking off Tharsby, kind of allows Anonymous and Alif up front to really focus on that battle for 1st. And here we are, onto that wide sweeping left bank before that front straight that is so challenging for so many of these drivers, especially if they don't have a car in front of them. In fact, Ringo, let me ask you a question. If you're in this situation and you don't have a car in front of you and you have no slipstream effect, is that a disadvantage?
No, not really. You can actually take a much wider line to the outer perimeter, and you can actually have a much better top speed. But if you have a car just in front of you, you gain a little bit from the top speed. You get the draft.
I see, okay. Thank you, Ringo.
Oh, look at the cars going in the corner, a bit
Yes.
sideways and everything because the undulation.
Right.
Yeah, and then from here as well. So you need to be very smooth and put the car in the right position. If not, the car will be bouncing. Oh,
And
close,
I think that's
close,
something
close.
these two drivers are doing very well, putting their
Very
car
nice.
in the right position at the right time. Anonymous now once again overtaking Alif for 1st position, leading the race into lap 4.
Nice race. Looking at them fighting, the 4 cars in front, it's really amazing. Alif is really close again and trying, I think, on the next left-hander after.
Yes, you're right, Ringo. It is starting to be a little bit of a train for these 4 drivers, almost mirror image in how they react with one another in front and behind each other. But the question comes back down to this banking, such an important corner, and then at front straight and turn 1, and how they leverage on all the advantages that they can squeeze out.
Yeah, Anonymous and Alif both are fighting very hard, so the 3rd car and 4th cars are catching up. So sometimes in racing, you have to watch. When somebody's trying to pass you, never lose time allowing the person passing you, so that both of you are keep moving forward. If not, the 3rd and the 4th cars will be catching them. So now Alif is trying on the inside, he's taking a different line and see. But the problem, if you are going on the inside, you have more steering angle, you tend to get a little bit more oversteering on the exit.
Right, and that is, I guess it's also a good thing that this circuit is so wide, there's enough track rather for them to really maximize the full advantage of this GR86.
Ah, that's a nice one, close. Ay.
And here we go again, once again, bumper to bumper. Alif on the tail of Anonymous. Wow, this is really heating up. This
Yes,
is an
he got the
exciting
inside
race.
now, perfect.
And the inside line, there we go. Once again, the two have swapped
the
places,
exit.
but Anonymous is once again side by side with Alif again. Alif still has
Next
the inside
corner.
line.
Yes.
Alif holding real tight, taking back 1st position. Anonymous still not letting go. Beautiful, beautiful driving.
Lovely
Clinical.
driving, very good. Now the next corner, look, this is the long straight coming up.
And yes, we are now on board with Anonymous, and you guys can see, watching from home, watching from your mobile devices and your computers or TV screens, just how close these two drivers are. And this is the level of professionalism we get here at the Gazoo Racing GT Cup Singapore 2021.
Alif is taking a defensive line on the inside. Anonymous is on the outside. Let's see what they're going to do on the left-hander coming up.
That's right, there's no space for Anonymous, so Alif basically dictates the line that Anonymous is able to take into this corner, inching forward ever so slightly.
Oh,
Whoa!
that's really close.
That was really close. Alif once again taking 1st spot, but very close behind Anonymous now. We are on board with Ethan, and they are bumper to bumper. Will Ethan be able to overtake Elon Musk and take second spot? This is really, really a beautiful race to watch.
Yeah, the front two cars are fighting out and the third car is coming closer and closer.
That's right, and also Thasby, who's actually the younger brother of Alif, in fourth position, keeping the pressure up for Ethan, making sure that he gets the advantage if the front drivers make a mistake.
Really close now, the four of them are bumper to bumper. It's really nice.
I think there's maybe even a little bit of a contact there, but nothing to slow them down, nothing to push them off course. They are still driving very cleanly. This is a beautiful race to watch. And it's such a pleasure to be able to watch these top drivers from Singapore represent and send it.
Perfect, really nice. When I watch all this racing, I get excited. It's just like me racing.
Oh, I think a lot of people can also relate to that, Ringo, because look at that Anonymous, beautiful, taking full advantage of the slipstream. Oh, but just a little bit too far off to cut out.
He's trying, and Alif is defending.
Right, they're all looking for that gap.
Ethan is also defending from Thasby.
Right, and also doing a pretty good job with that defense from the onslaught of Thasby's attack in his fourth position.
Oh, Alif had a little bit of oversteer, and now, yes, he's still on the inside. Anonymous is trying.
Right,
couldn't
still
get there.
looking for the gap.
Just a little bit, half a car more.
Oh, it looks like Thasby got himself a penalty. He's got a 0.5 second penalty. Now that's going to affect him quite a fair bit, I think. Considering how close, look at how close these four drivers are, side by side, door to door, mirror to mirror. Wow, fantastic driving.
3 cars into the corner, someone had a big oversteer there.
Right, and Anonymous taking full advantage of that, overtaking Alif, and now leading the race, coming to the end of their second last lap as they move on to the final lap of this race. Oh, it seems like Anonymous hit the wall there with some sparks flying and some jittery. Oh no, I hope this is not a network issue. It might be a network connection issue for Elon Musk up there. And he's leading the race, right? So you just got to endure one more lap and maybe take this home. Alif now on the outside, really catching up in terms of speed. We go side by side, door to door. This network issue. Oh, Anonymous is out. He has left the room. Alif has come to a complete stop.
What happened?
I think it might be a network problem. I think they actually have network issues. And okay, so let me quickly refer to the regulations because these drivers are on their final lap. Yes, Alif is out of the lobby. Ethan is now in first position. Thasby is in second. And okay, according to the regulations, the race will continue because this network issue is not due to a server issue, but is due to the connectivity of the participants. Wow, what a hit for Anonymous and Alif. I mean, here we have, there we have it. Now Thasby overtaking Ethan, just clearing his penalty. And they're now side by side. Oh, this is the last corner, last lap.
Come on.
They are side by side.
And he pushed.
Thasby hits Ethan into the wall. That was a mild nudge. I don't think that was intentional. But, that was... All right, I think we got to leave this to the stewards. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of race 1 for the finals. For Group A and cross the checkered flag, we have Thasby in first position, Ethan in second, Rasyat in third, and I believe Masvilton in fourth, and SGC in fifth. Now, we're not sure if these are the final results because there was a little bit of a contact between Thasby and Ethan at the last corner. So let's wait to see if there's any protest from the drivers and what kind of results we'll get. But wow, Ringo, what an amazing race.
Really nice. So real, so good. The skills are really good on the top 4 of them.
Yeah, but also, I mean, if I were Alif or Anonymous, that must be so painful as well.
Yes.
Whew. This is the final, and it's no wonder the racers are really well prepared. Let's have a look at the points that the racers have earned from race 1.
All right, next up is race 2, Fuji Speedway. Ringo, this is yet another circuit you are so familiar with, having raced here multiple times. Could you please share a little bit more with us? What is Fuji Speedway like?
Whenever I think of Fuji Speedway, it's the beautiful scenery of Mount Fuji if it is a clear sky. But when you're driving there, it's the highest speed you can attain on the main straight. It's very fast, and it's a lot of curving sector that is going to be very fast, and a lot of positioning in the car.
Right, so lots of high-speed action on the front straight and a lot of flowing corners. Which corners do you think will be the most challenging for the competitors in today's race?
Starting from turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, it's going to be very close. And everyone is going to be back-to-back. And the last sector, because you have a sling of corners, it's going to be difficult. Everyone is going to be close, and you can decide different lines to get different speed out of the main straight. So it's going to be very, very tough.
Are those your favorite corners, or are those corners that you...
Like what our engineer always say on the radio, sector 3 is where you have to focus and really drive hard.
All right then. Well, they're also going to be driving in the Gazoo Racing Yaris. Now, I know you own the GR Yaris in real life for yourself as well, and you know the circuit so well. So how do you think this car will fare at Fuji Speedway?
I think when everybody is driving the GR Yaris together, it's going to be a very close fight because the car has phenomenal acceleration out of the corner, so that when you get into the corner, you can brake really late, good brakes, and then when you come out the corner, everybody is going to be very close. This is what I'm going to tell you. And on the last sector, you will see them bumper to bumper, side to side. I'm sure 2 or 3 cars will go in the corner at the same time.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ringo. You got me excited to want to watch the race, just hearing you talk about it. All right, so we have a quick update. We've just received confirmation that following the earlier protest, the final race 1 winner is indeed Ethan. Congratulations.
Well, don't take your eyes off the screen. We'll start final race 2 and now.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GT Cup Singapore Race 2. This is the finals. The drivers are now in the Gazoo Racing Yaris at Fuji Speedway.
One of the amazing Japanese track, lots of history, and a wonderful long straight. This track has the longest main straight. You can hit the top speed of way over 230, 40, 50, 60, 70 kilometers. And 5 red light
are ready to go, and away they go. Lights are green, it's a go, go, go. Qualifying in pole position is Ethan, and he's still able to maintain that lead, already slowly building it up. In second position is Anonymous, third is Masvilton, fourth is Aleph, fifth is SGC. Beautiful take.
Nice overtaking from the inside.
Beautiful cut in from Anonymous, and who I believe has now taken first position. Well, they are side by side, Ethan and Anonymous. Ethan now taking back into that first position, Anonymous in second, Masvilton in third, Aleph in fourth. What a dramatic end to race 1, but these drivers have put it all behind them.
Small
you see
touch.
Anonymous slightly nudging Ethan there to take the first position into on the inside line. Oh, very aggressive driving right here from all these drivers. I think a Simfi going way off. And while here you have Tasby in 8th position, the Will in 9th, Rasat in 11th, in 10th, Rasat is now in 9th. What an amazing race, what an amazing start to the race.
Everyone is just pushing hard. You know, with the Yaris, with the 4-wheel drive, there's so much to accelerate out of the corner, coming into the Dunlop corner here, taking the hairpin, this little sharp corner. Everybody's pushing in.
Yeah, and there's a fair bit of nudging from the drivers here. Nothing too major, nothing too dramatic, but enough for that tension amongst the drivers to build up. You can see this bumper-to-bumper racing. Tasby really pushing onto the butt of Rasat, who is in 7th position. Now we're back to the front end of things. Ethan in first position, Masvilton in second. Aleph has climbed all the way back up to third. No, I'm sorry, Aleph has climbed to second position, taking the inside line as they start the front straight. Beautiful driving. Aleph going a little bit off in third, but I think he will be able to hold it. Boxed in.
Okay, 3 cars on the street.
That's right, and boxed in is Anonymous, who is now pushing to third behind Masvilton. We are on board together with Anonymous right now, and they're coming to the midpoint of this front straight, right before that challenging turn 1 hairpin. And you see Anonymous dives out to the right side. Masvilton closes his door on him as bumper bumping. It's almost bumper car style driving here at lap 2 of race 2.
Amazing, amazing. Oops.
Wow, really aggressive here. Really wanting to take that second spot away from Mazzelton. Mazzelton maintaining composure, but going a little bit off onto the inside. Enormous not able to maximize that outside grip. Alif having front row seats watching this battle for second between the two drivers ahead of them.
Both of them defending.
Yes, both of them defending very hard, but Alif then, there we go! Alif overtakes both Enormous and Mazzelton at the same time at this hard left hairpin, taking second position.
And look, Ezran is on the outside too, and all 4 cars are dicing for it.
That's right. In fact, we can officially say that these 4 drivers are battling for the second position.
Yes, Alif is holding very good, braking hard into the right-hander. It's a tight right-hander. Everybody is close. And with the Yaris, look at them. They are just accelerating out so quickly. The car has so much grip. It's a phenomenal. So everything is so close.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Ringo. I mean, look at this racing. This is top tier level 1 racing amongst these drivers. Anol Musk in second position. Ezran taking over. Anol Musk, Mazzelton on the inside. Now cutting the outside, blocking everyone else. Taking back third position. Anol Musk not letting go. Taking back third position once again away from Mazzelton. Alif now having a little bit more breathing space is trying his very best to catch up to Ethan, who has a 2.7 second lead ahead from all that battle fight that's going on behind him as he comes to the start-finish line and finishes lap 2 and starts lap number 3.
Really close for third, fourth and fifth. Everyone is bumper to bumper, and now we see how they're going to attack each other into turn 1. It's going to be close. Yes.
Mazzelton cuts out to the inside
It's
line.
going to take 2 cars.
Two cars at the
my
same
goodness.
time. Dives right in. Russell cuts all the way to the inside despite that 0.3 second penalty. Takes back third position. Mazzelton did gain 1 point up to fourth, and Anol Musk now in fifth position. Alif is still slowly pulling ahead in his second position. And there's a penalty here. We are with Rasad. He has that 0.3 second penalty. He will need to serve this penalty before the end of the race, which I don't think will be a problem. As you see that little bit of ghosting right there, that is him slowing down a little bit to serve that penalty.
I think that was for the overtaking into turn 1.
I think so too,
For
yes.
shortcutting the corner.
Yes, that was so aggressive driving from all of them.
That's
Fastest
really
lap
fun.
so far posted by Rasad, a 1 minute 58.669 second. I think that was faster than his qualifying time, so very impressive driving right
purple.
here.
It's purple. It's the quickest lap time.
Exactly, the colors all race drivers want to see is indeed purple, not just for sector timings, but for lap timings as well. So we have Ethan coming on to the last few corners for lap number 3. Pretty big gap of 2.5, 2.6 seconds ahead of Alif. So Ringo, you actually own a GR Yaris in real life, and you know the circuit so well. What do you think about the driving from these drivers?
Fantastic. It's when you see them driving so closely and fighting so hard, it's because the car has so much grip. In real life, the GR Yaris is so agile, so nice to drive, and so much acceleration out of the corner. I fall in love driving the car every day. But when I watch them drive here, you can see the difference between every one of the little cars. Look at the straight now.
Exactly. You get Fastby on the butt of Mazzelton with 1/10 of a second between them, coming down to the end of the front straight, start of lap number 4. Is he gonna take action? Will there be maneuver? No, surprisingly, he's still being relatively conservative.
Yes.
At this point of time, Fastby. Not necessarily a bad decision. It might have been a good decision because now he's still in the fight without making any major gambles. Enormous has dropped down to 6th position, still pushing, giving Fastby a lot of pressure. That's a train booting right there. Mazzelton, left, right, left. But holding that line beautifully, the 4-wheel drive from the GR Yaris really showing, really shining here at Fuji Speedway, Japan.
It's amazing to see the driver committing with so much speed into the corner, and on the exit the cars are just gripping and shooting out. So everybody's so close, but wonderful racing from all of them. It's amazing.
That's right, and here I think Fastby is going to try to overtake Mazzelton. He's on the outside, which
3
is a very
cars abreast.
Right, side by side. Mazzelton closes, Enormous takes overtakes Tharsby into 5th, loses it back to Tharsby again as they're climbing up onto this right bend. Enormous really looking for the gap in between. Tharsby dropping down to 6th position. Wow, this is an exciting race.
Wonderful, you can see Tharsby going all the way to the outside. He's losing it because there's less grip there. But the front two cars are fighting 4th and 5th place. Both of them are pushing so hard.
Right. Okay, we're jumping now to the back marker. The Will has a penalty of a 0.2 second, which he, I believe, is serving at this point of time. Now we're looking at Ethan, who is the race leader from start till now, with a 2.7 second gap ahead of Alif. And this is the battle we've been watching, the battle for 4th between Enormous and Masvilton. Enormous being very defensive now on the inside lane, all the way to the far right. Masvilton on his tail, also on the far right, cutting out to the outside just a little bit. Masvilton taking 4th position, Tharsby cutting onto the inside, and they enter turn 1. Enormous again.
Again pushing out.
Overtaking.
Amazing.
Side by side, 3 abreast. I think someone's gone onto the outside. I believe that is Masvilton, who's dropped down to 6th and now under pressure by Ezran, who's in 7th. Oh wow, I need to catch my breath. I wonder how these drivers are doing this.
Really close and pushing bumper to bumper. It's amazing. I'm enjoying watching this race.
Right, Rasad now in 3rd position. He's got a 5-second gap ahead of Enormous, who's in 4th, which means he will be trying very hard now at lap number 5 to catch up to Alif, who is 1.6 seconds ahead of him. And it will be a bit of a battle. Quite an interesting line he just took there, but nevertheless, here they come to the Dunlop corners. You can see Alif beautifully executing that corner with Rasad going just a little bit wide, I think. And okay, so this is the battle we've been watching for the most of the past few laps. Tharsby in 4th, Enormous in 5th. Masvilton dropping way further back into 6th position and being challenged by Ezran and SGC. I think we just caught a glimpse of that. Those 3 drivers now battling for 6th, 7th and 8th position. But it's Tharsby here in 4th position as they come up to the final few corners of lap number 5. Enormous on his tail.
But it's lovely to see how they take the line and how far they can go out and put the power down so quickly. Because of the 4-wheel drive system, you have so much grip on the exit, so the line of the exit is slightly different, and it's phenomenal. And how they are fighting, look, now he's catching up on the slipstream, coming.
Right. Really building onto the slipstream, coming up onto the inside, cuts onto the outside. That was a good fake. How will Tharsby defend himself? Tharsby stays on the inside line. It's already overtaken by Enormous, who is now in 4th, but they are mirror to mirror, door to door. Tharsby with the inside line advantage, but Enormous with that little more speed ahead. Now, talking about speed, Alif has clocked the fastest lap time already with a 1 minute 58.629 seconds. It is purple for Alif in 2nd position right now. And we have Tharsby now coming back. Oh, what almost close push right there. No contact, but very, very close, probably just centimeters away from one another. And Enormous now slightly ahead. Tharsby in 5th. SGC has climbed up to 6th position. But dropped back to 7th. Masvilton has taken back 6th position. Ezran in 8th position. And here we have Rasad in 3rd position. Significantly losing time behind Alif. I think that was a 3-second gap behind Alif. So he's probably kind of stuck in limbo right now in 3rd position. But we have cameras and eyes on Ethan, race leader with a 1.8 second gap ahead of Alif. And I believe Alif is still giving his all, full beams ahead, setting it into every single corner, trying to catch up as they come to the last few corners of lap number 6. With 1 lap to go here at Fuji Speedway for race 2 of the finals.
1.6 second, 1.5 second, 1.4 is dropping a little bit. Alif is very quick on this sector, but let's see on the straight itself what happens.
Right, bringing that speed out of the final corner as they tackle this super long straight. And yeah, it seems like the gap is still building up between Ethan in 1st and Alif in 2nd. Camera once again now to Rasad in 3rd. Enormous in 4th with a relatively healthy 7/10 of a second gap ahead of Tharsby, who is in 5th. As they come down to the end of the front straight, as they begin their final lap, this is the last opportunity for all the drivers out here to perform to 101%?
I think you're going to see a position change on 6 and 7. Both of them are trying very hard at the back from SGC. Yeah.
Yes, and just like the semi-finals that we witnessed yesterday, these guys are in the finals, but they're also finding as much points as they can accumulate because the winners are determined by total points of all 3 races, this being race 2 of the 3 races.
Yes, on this track itself, on a sunny day like that, clear sky, it's lovely when you attack turn 3, turn 4. In this part of the track, you get to see Mount Fuji in the background. It's so beautiful, you cannot believe the view, and all of us love driving here.
That's right, Ringo, you are absolutely right. But I'm gonna guess none of these drivers are sightseeing right now. These drivers are focused on what's ahead of them because they know that every second counts and every corner they need to execute it flawlessly. And if anyone could execute it flawlessly, it will be these 2 drivers up top. Ethan in first position, Alif in second, as they negotiate these last few hairpin corners for the very last time in this championship series. Ethan now setting himself up for the final corner. In fact, Alif has caught up very, very quickly with only 1.1 second gap. The question is, will it be enough? And you know what? I don't think so.
Final lap, 7 of 7.
That's right. Now Ethan is coming to the front straight. He's about to cross the start-finish line. He will be very excited and very happy. There we go, photo finish. First position, Ethan. Second is Alif. Coming in third place is Rasad. Fourth place will be Nolmusk. Closely behind him in fifth is Thasby. Sixth position, Masvilton. What a phenomenal race and what a beautiful performance from all these race drivers. Look at how close that is. As you see, almost taking 6 away from Masvilton.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you guys real soon in the final race.
Ambition. It's not a destination, nor a finish line. It's what you keep racing towards, to push, to the extremes, to race, race, race. That's when you find the limit. That's our ambition, so you too can race yours.
Let's have a look at the cumulated points that the racers have earned from race 1 and race 2. Well done, guys, and now we are to proceed to race 3. The points the racers will earn is slightly different from race 1 and race 2, right, Hong?
That's right, Claire. For race 3, we do have a different point system from the previous 2 races. Here's a summary of the point system. This also means that we can be expecting some exciting drama for the upcoming race. Okay, we're almost ready to move on to the grand finale, the third and final race for this year's Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup Singapore. This is the 6.56 kilometer long Tokyo Expressway South Inner Loop. Ringo, what are your thoughts?
Well, Hong, for any circuit that has a long straight like this, it's very important that the drivers power as early as possible. This is because if their exit speed isn't high enough, they will have to play catch up, which is not ideal. For Sector 1, the drivers will need to be cautious towards the end of the long straight because they will be traveling at really high speed. Braking at the sweet spot will be crucial in order to connect to the following corners smoothly. For Sector 2, there are quite a few high-speed corners which the drivers will need to navigate. Again, the key is to drive smoothly so as not to unsettle the car. Also in this sector will be a very tight hairpin at turn 11. Here, the drivers will bring the cars down to the slowest speed of the entire circuit. But because it is followed by a straight section, they will need to focus on the exit for maximum straight line speed.
Now, given such a long circuit, how do you think the GR Yaris will perform here?
Oh, I think the GR Yaris will handle exceptionally well here. Hong, the handling of this car is phenomenal, and thanks to its powerful 268 horsepower engine and four-wheel drive system, I think we can expect upcoming battle to be an exciting one. Let's dive right in.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the final race of the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup Singapore 2021. We have all 12 cars, all 12 participants lined up here at Tokyo Expressway for a night race in the Toyota GR Yaris.
Yes, everyone is getting ready for the start very soon.
We have 12 cars. This is a night race, so a lot of flashing lights are expected, and these drivers will be giving their all. I think we're going to go green very soon, and away we go! Not a good start for Anonymous, even though starting in pole position, already dropping down to second position. Ethan taking full advantage of that, climbing up and taking the first position, and now leading the race.
Everyone is really close in this corner, in this track, because it's a street circuit and it's just wall to wall. So going to be a lot of rubbing and a lot of touching.
That's right, Alif already climbing up to third position and now putting on the pressure to Anonymous. We are now on board with Anonymous. You can see Alif coming side by side in this fender to fender. Alif going to be aggressive, trying to take the inside line of this tight double right turn hairpin. Oh, I'm sorry, Alif is on the outside, Anonymous gets on the inside, holding that line with Ethan right ahead in first position. Anonymous maintaining that second position ahead of Alif. Alif not backing down, bumper to bumper as they come to a bit of a long straight. In fourth position, we have Rasat Thasby in fifth position, Maselton in sixth. Whoa, what an overtake! What was that? Oh. You can see sparks flying everywhere. These drivers are using the maximum width of the circuit, even using the wall, in fact, a little bit to scrub ahead of one another because they know this is where it matters. This is their last opportunity to shine in front of all.
It's amazing. The fight on the third and fourth position gives the first car a chance to breathe and to pull away. But everyone is really close and they are driving the car to the limit, really limit to the limit, and also scrubbing the cars to the wall. Let's see the hairpin.
That's right, here's a hairpin. Alif got inside line, overtaking Ethan. Slight nudge there, nothing to write home about, but nevertheless, we have Alif now in first position, Ethan in second, Anonymous dropping to third.
That hairpin was very difficult. You have to really judge the braking. A little bit too late, you're off, and then followed by this long straight. So if you get a good exit and a good underbraking, that's it, you are going to lead.
And that's right, and that is exactly what Thasby has taken advantage of, overtaking Anonymous now in third position. We are on board with Anonymous. You can see that's 1/10 of a second behind Thasby, who's in third position. And these guys are really, you can see all the sparks flying, penalty boxes popping up left, right, and center. Look at that battle for third between Anonymous and Thasby. But now we're looking at Ethan coming onto the outside, trying to overtake Alif from the outside. These two drivers are now door to door, mirror to mirror. Ethan is now in first position. They are taking the left bend, Alif on the inside line with that advantage, overtaking Ethan back into first position with 0.2 of a second between the two drivers.
All the way straight to the end.
That is right, we are now on board with Ethan. You can see him already catching up to Alif right now, going from bumper to fender to fender. Now it will be very interesting because it will be a very deep turn right about now. They want to brake at the 100-meter mark as they dive onto the inside. Alif on the inside lane and Ethan going a little bit wide there. But this tricky corner is a double right turn and then a long straight. So they want to bring that speed before they start the straight. You can see Anonymous there clocking a 0.5 second penalty, Thasby with a 0.4 second penalty, and I believe Rasat also with a 0.4 second penalty from that end of that corner.
But these drivers, all of them are really pushing hard, and you can see they are really not giving up on each other.
That is right, and this is going to be the longest straight segment of this very long Tokyo Expressway circuit. Alif now in first position, Ethan in second, and a whole bunch of penalty boxes in the from the drivers behind these two race leaders, and they are bumper to bumper. It's almost like watching an instant deja vu happen because these two drivers are so close and so good. And here they are now into the deep hairpin.
Oh yes,
Ethan
he's
coming
trying on the inside.
blocking.
Did he get it?
Olive,
Yes,
and I think he did.
He got it.
Yes.
He got it. No, not really. Very, very close.
They are still side by side. Ethan is still slightly ahead. The question is, will Olive be able to take it back in the upcoming few bends, because these are mid-speed corners? And nope, Ethan closing the door, able to hold his hard-fought first position. Olive in second, Enormous in third, Rasad in fourth position. Now, this is a very, very close battle. I think between the first and the fifth drivers, they're all just a couple tenths of a second apart from one another. And like you said earlier, Ringo, this is a street circuit, which means if they bump into the wall a little bit too hard, they're going to lose a lot of time, and that gives that advantage to their competitors.
Yes, and you see all the headlight blazing at each other, and everyone is really pushing on the limit. I love to watch the way they lean on the corners and how they attack each other. Look at that. Look at how they maximize and use the four-wheel drive exit of the corners and everything. It's amazing.
That's right. You know, being able to jump from car to car in this championship is not easy, and you can see that these drivers really put in a lot of time and effort and sacrifice in their training that is all reflected in this race. As you can see, Enormous cutting onto the inside way too aggressively, hitting the wall on the right, sparks flying everywhere, and he drops down to fourth position with Rasad now climbing up into third. However, Rasad's got a 0.3 or 0.4 second penalty. That's 0.4 second penalty, so that means Enormous in fourth position might still be able to regain that third position from Rasad, who's directly in front of him. You can see we are now on board with Enormous. They are bumper to bumper, sparks flying everywhere.
But Rasad has a 0.4 of a second penalty now. He has to slow down to give it back.
That's right.
He's
I
slowing
think
down.
there's also a penalty. We're on board with Enormous, and Enormous gained that 1.4 second penalty, which is going to be a big hit for him because he's 0.6 of a second ahead of Thasby, who's on his tail, which means Thasby will be able to take advantage of that 1.4 second penalty.
Ethan is driving really well, and he's maintaining the gap.
Yes, he is, and he's in fact slowly inching away peeling away from Olive. I think Olive is also stuck in a bit of a quagmire because while trying to hunt down Ethan, he's also needing to actively defend his second position from Enormous and Rasad, who is so close behind him.
Yes.
You can see there right now, Enormous really on the tail of Olive, so Olive needs to maintain that defensive line whilst not losing time and speed in his battle in his position of second place.
It's beautiful looking at all these cars and all this driver pushing and scraping the barrier and everything and all. It's amazing. In a street circuit race, sometimes my engineer used to tell us to say, if you come back from the race and your mirror is still on the car, you're not a good driver.
You didn't drive. Well, I think these guys, if they were driving in real cars, none of their side mirrors will still be connected to their cars because they are pushing. And like you said earlier, Ringo, they're really maximizing the four-wheel drive capabilities of the Toyota GR Yaris. And it also shows how capable this pocket rocket really is in a racing scenario, as we saw earlier in Fuji Speedway and also here on the beautiful night streets of Tokyo.
Yes, amazing to watch how they drive this car so hard and so well. Everyone is so close, and it's really nice watching the race. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat.
Right, and now we are on board with Enormous. You can see on his screen he still has a 0.4 second penalty that he needs to slow down, but he's not doing that right now because he is bumper to bumper right behind Olive in lap 4 of the 7-lap race. These four drivers are now really getting closer and closer to one another. Olive needing to devote a significant amount of time to defend himself from the onslaught attack from Enormous, who's in third, Rasad in fourth, and Thasby, who's in fifth position. As they enter this tunnel, you can see Enormous really hunting left and right, looking for a gap for him to exploit. But Olive is really closing the door on him, not allowing a single opportunity for Enormous to take advantage of.
Yes.
And all this while Rasad looking on. And here,
both of them are trying on the inside.
yes,
and Russell
Olive
has got
slows
it.
down quite a fair bit and almost not able to push forward. Brilliant driving from Olive, such a well-controlled defensive line. He knows exactly where to slow down and exactly when he can full throttle accelerate. And that, wow, that was really a masterclass driving from Olive with Enormous on his tail.
And now you can see he's really pushing hard, and the rear of the car is actually hanging out. He's really trying. So, but really close. Anonymous is really close to Olive, and you know he's just trying to pass him.
You know, watching these four drivers, Olive, Enormous, Rasat and Thasby, in those deep corners of this Tokyo circuit, it almost looks like a drift competition because they are going side by side, and it's such a beautiful sight to behold. Now we're at lap number 5 out of 7. That means we have 2 more laps to go between these drivers. Leading the race is Ethan with a 1.4 second gap ahead of Olive. Olive in second position, and Enormous in third, Rasset in fourth, Thasby in fifth, Mazelton in sixth, SGC in 7, Diok in 8th.
It's amazing. After 5 laps, and you see all of them still side by side.
Right, testament to their
Everyone's so
abilities.
close.
Okay, Olive, who's dropped to third now, coming back on the inside of the hairpin, squeezing Enormous out onto the outer side and then regaining his second position. I think this pressure is really starting to build up because we are on to the last 2.5 laps of the 7-lap race. And another penalty. This is once again, oh wow, it's all lit up red now, isn't it? Enormous has a 0.5 second penalty, Thasby has a 0.5 second penalty, and I think Rasat as well with a 0.4 second penalty, all playing to the advantage of Olive, who has no penalty. Very clean driving from Olive despite all that aggressive defending. So props to Olive on that level, or this level of driving. Look at them swing in the tunnel all the way out to the maximum width of the track or the circuit. And Olive, I think, has a small bit of breathing space knowing that the 3 drivers behind him has penalties, but
You cannot let them pass you, because if they pass you, they will slow down, they will gain back their 0.4 of a second or 0.5 of a second and hold you back, and the rest of the guy will start attacking. So he has to make his car really wide and keep in front of this fighting pack.
Exactly. Now you guys saw that some of the drivers ghost for a little bit in that corner, and that's because they are slowing down to serve that penalty, and you can see those penalty boxes already disappearing next to their PSN names, and which means that penalties have been served for those drivers. But we see a big penalty. I think it's a 1.1 second for the Will, and I think that's going to affect his position. He's now in 9th place, but he might lose it to Lee Yong-ming, who's right on his tail. And Anonymous still has a maybe 1/10 of a second penalty to serve, which will not affect him that badly, I believe. Thasby, on the other hand, on 4th position, and Rasat, who's in 5th, have already served their penalty, as I mentioned earlier, in a little bit of ghosting. Ethan now clearly ahead with a comfortable 2.1 second gap ahead of Olive, who had to spend a lot of energy defending himself from the attack of Anonymous and Thasby, who are in 3rd and 4th respectively.
Yes, I must say, Olive is having a hard race here with Anonymous and Thasby fighting and pushing him all the way.
Right, and here we have Anonymous once again hunting left, right, looking for the gap. Now stuck
Comes
on
to
the
the hairpin.
outside for the hairpin. Olive holding that defensive line on the inside. Anonymous taking the inside there side by side. Anonymous has overtaken Olive. Wow, what a beautiful drive. What a beautiful drive from Anonymous, now taking into 2nd position, Olive back to 3rd. Now obviously we know Olive is not letting go. This is the 2nd last lap of the 7-lap race, and here we have it. Olive on the attack on the inside line. These 2 drivers are door to door, side to side, fender to fender, bumper to bumper, mirror to mirror. I'm out of breath. So Olive slightly edging forward ahead of Anonymous, and they are still side by side.
There'll be an advantage for Olive because the next corner coming up is going to be a right-hander, and Anonymous made a little mistake, scrubbing the wall, going a bit too fast, staying on the inside.
Right, you can see how sensitive and precise and realistic these cars and this circuit is, because just a little rub and Anonymous has already dropped down to 1 second gap behind Olive. And as they negotiate this hairpin, Olive once again providing a clinical example of how to drive. Oh, I think there was some connectivity issues there with Rasat, who's in 5th. I think he holds it well Thasby now is in 4th position. However, he has a 0.6 second penalty, and that is exactly what Rasad, who's in 5th position, wants to see, because then he has a chance to catch up.
It's amazing. Last lap, one more lap to go, and then we're going to see how hard they're going to push.
Right, and there we go. Alif making a mistake. Hitting the wall first on the left and then onto the right. I think he was pushing a little bit too hard maybe, but thankfully he still has a healthy gap of 1.1 second ahead of Elon Musk, so that little boo-boo should not affect him too much. And now we're on to the final lap. This is it. This is really what all these drivers have been training for from last year all the way till now. This is their moment to shine. This is their moment to prove to their teammates, prove to themselves, and eventually prove to the world that they are the best sim drivers here in Singapore.
Phenomenal. Look at them. Drafting again and trying, never give up.
That is right. Thasby with his 0.6 second penalty. It's not served it yet, but going side by side with Elon Musk on the inside line now. It's a hairpin, overtaking Elon Musk and serving that penalty at the same time. That's a little bit of ghosting that we talked about earlier. There is a fair bit of advantage here, but Elon Musk, beautiful driving, able to regain third position, blocking Thasby's attack as they negotiate this very challenging circuit for the last time, as this is lap number 7 out of 7.
It's wonderful. Look at the way they take the corner and they drive the car sideways out and inches to the wall, even centimeters of touching the wall and scrubbing them. It's really nice.
See all the sparks flying. It's a beautiful thing for us to watch, but when the drivers do hit that wall with sparks, they will be worried how much speed did they lose.
Yes.
That is not a concern for this gentleman we're watching right now, Ethan. He has been driving a clean, clinical, and almost flawless race from start to finish. He has a 1.8 second gap ahead of Alif, who is in 2nd position. Thasby now overtaking Elon Musk in this hairpin, taking 3rd position. Now Elon Musk having to fight back really hard. They are still bumper to bumper. There's about half a circuit left for these drivers. Ethan coming on to the last couple of corners, pretty confident about himself. Elon Musk now really pushing against him, hitting the wall, because he does not want to lose that final spot on the podium, that coveted number 3. Ethan now coming on to the last couple of corners with Alif close behind, but not close enough to take 1st position. And we have Thasby in 3rd and Elon Musk in 4th. We're going to see very quickly now if those two drivers will swap places. But here we are. Checkered line. Ethan in 1st position, Alif in 2nd. Thasby crossing the line in 3rd, Elon Musk in 4th position. 5th position goes to Rasad. That is a beautiful, beautiful race, an exciting one to
really exciting one. I'm on the edge of my seat, and after watching them drive, I hope when I drive home tonight, I wouldn't be driving that quickly like them in my Yaris.
Well, just be reminded that we are in Singapore. This is the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup Singapore Round 3, Race 3, final. Congratulations to all race drivers. Let's jump back to the studio.
Wow!
Great game. Now that all 3 races are over, let's take a look at the final points from the races.
And now we have the top 3 races of Toyota Gazoo Racing at GT Cup Singapore 2021. Let's award them. Congratulations to the 2nd runner-up, Mohammed Thasby. Congratulations to our 1st runner-up, Zaim Rasyad. And our champion of Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup Singapore 2021, Ethan Yeo.
Now, due to eligibility, proceeding to the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup Asia 2021 will be Alif instead of Thasby, who ranked 3rd for the Singapore round. Okay, moving on. Let's have a quick chat with these 4 racers now. Congratulations on a phenomenal win in this year's GT Cup Singapore. It was a brilliant race from semi-finals all the way up to the finals. Now please, Ethan, can you please share with us what were your preparation work?
My preparation was was very rushed as I only had 1 week to practice as I had exams for the past few weeks. So for my training, I was training for 4 to 5 hours a day, constantly playing the game just to be better at it. And even though it was very tiring, it paid off.
All right, so moving on. Now that you have qualified for the GT Cup Asia, you're going to represent Singapore with 2 other teammates. How do you feel, and what are your plans to prepare for this mega event?
Well, I just have to do what I've always been doing, which is just to keep practicing and not give up. Just have to be more consistent and just to be more consistent and just be more quick in general.
Which was your favorite circuit for this year's GT Cup Singapore?
Well, for me, my most favorite circuit was Fuji, as I love Japan and I love that track because I always wanted to go there and see their Japanese touring car championship there since I was young. So I've been playing that circuit for many times, and that's how I did well for that circuit. And for the car, my favorite car was the GR Yaris, as it was personally very controllable and very easy to know the limit of the car.
All right, wonderful. And that's it, Ethan. We're done. So once again, on behalf of everybody here at Toyota, congratulations on the phenomenal win. Brilliant driving.
Thank you so much.
We wish you all the best and all the luck for GT Cup Asia.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ethan. Well, it was a very brilliant battles that we were able to witness yesterday at the semi-finals. And how about today's race? All 3 races. What was it like for you as one of the leading competitors?
Yeah, so definitely there was much more pressure in the finals. We had to ensure that all our practice were put to good use, and we had to make sure that we kept our nerves in control. So for the first race, with a little bit of luck, due to some disconnections, I managed to finish the race in P2, I think, after a few penalties as well for the other drivers. For the second race, I believe it was in Fuji. I had a bad start again. I dropped to P11, but with some luck and some perseverance, I managed to recover and finish the race in 3rd place as well, which gave me some good points. And for the final race, I believe I was very happy with the qualifying. My teammates and I, we placed 1st, 2nd, and 3rd for the finals, for the qualifying. But unfortunately, during the race, I could only manage a P5 at the end.
But let's rewind back a little bit. And can you please share with us what was your training sessions like leading up to yesterday's semi-finals and today's finals?
Training sessions. There were quite a lot of training sessions for me and my brother. Mostly whenever he's free because he has national service in the middle. It's a bit cramped, but we tried as much as possible to come up with all the different scenarios which would turn up in the semi-finals and finals. And I guess not all of them came true, but we tried our best.
So let's talk about race 1. I mean, it was going relatively well all the way till the last lap. Can you share a little bit more with us? What happened? How you feel about it?
I mean, I think it was the first time it kind of actually happened to me, like a game crashing, which was, I think, what happened to me and Fatris was leading at that point of time. So the game crashed, the steering wheel went crazy, and I thought everyone left, but I saw my brother who's playing beside me. He's still going on, right? So I was like, something happened, and of course my heart sank, and I was just trying to ask the race director if anything could be done, and when he said no, I was just like, okay, never mind, let's try to focus on Fuji and onwards. And Yeah, it was how do I say this? It was a good learning experience for me. You know, trying to deal with a blow like this and trying to come back, and just like you said, it's different challenges for each race, and it was a good learning experience that I'll bring forward to the regional finals.
Once again, congratulations again to all of you. Now, let's invite Mr. Samuel Yong, the Director of Strategic Marketing and Business Strategy from Borneo Motors Singapore, to have a closing comment.
Thank you, Claire. Wow, that was indeed thrilling. I'm glued to my seat for the entire race. I'm sure everyone had fun getting a real feel of racing in the GR cars. The Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup exemplifies the true spirit of motorsports and is nothing short of pure exhilaration and intensity. To all the racers who have participated in the finals today, well done and thank you for the incredible race. To all our winners, you have shown true mettle in delivering top performance and finesse through your outstanding techniques as well as great knowledge of the circuits and their challenges. The glory is well deserved. Congratulations to Ethan, Zaim and Hasbi on the victory. Congrats also to Alif for advancing to the next round. And see you in the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup Asia 2021. All the best.
All right, now before we wrap up, please allow me to remind everyone about the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup Asia 2021. Our 3 Singapore representatives will be competing against the top qualifiers from Thailand, Malaysia, India, Indonesia, Taiwan, and Korea for Team Glory. This race is scheduled for the 16th of October. In addition, for this Asia round, there will be 2 prizes awarded, the first being individual ranking, while the other being team ranking. So do remember to join us and cheer Team Singapore on. The race will be broadcasted on One Esports online.
And I can't wait for the TGR GT Cup Asia 2021. And all the best to
Ethan, Zaim, and Alif.